Hey, welcome to episode 107, I believe it is, right, Mr. Davey?
That's correct.
It is November 6th, 2023. We welcome you all aboard. And how can you find us every week? Well, YouTube. We're on YouTube every week at this time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Captain's Quarters Podcast. Use that QR code. Go there, like us, follow us, subscribe to us, hit the little bell, and you'll get a little reminder. If you don't get a reminder from me, because I spend several moments during the day sending out reminders to everybody. We're trying to figure out new and easier ways to send reminders out. So we hope that you will actually come out and be a part of it. Be a part of our show. So, Davey, I just hit comments and I don't see anybody in our studio. Am I seeing something wrong? Oh, there's Mandy.
Hey, that Mandy.
Yep.
I see three people. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure why I'm not seeing anybody. Well, let me hit this button. Nope, that doesn't.
Yeah, no, I don't see anybody making comments though.
All right, well, that's interesting.
Is it?
No worries. Anybody that's out there, say hello, but I don't see anybody right now.
Hold on.
And I am drinking orange juice. There's Donna. I am drinking orange juice with a splash of Citygate coconut rum. We always like to tell everybody which rum we're drinking for the night. So if you want to get some, Citygate's Distillery. One of my favorite places to get some really good flavorful rums. Maybe one of these days they'll let me be charging them to do this. But for now.
Now they're coming on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, people are coming on board. That's great. But for now, our full show sponsor is always the Pirate and Treasure Museum, but that leads us into 8 Bells, ladies and gentlemen. 8 Bells, sponsored by the family of reenactors, the Riker family. And we have, I believe, 6 this week.
Yes.
So let's get to it. I'll move up with my glasses on and see if I can read. Tyler Christopher Baker, professionally known as Tyler Christopher, was an American actor. He was best known for his roles as Nicholas Cassadine and Connor Bishop on the ABC soap opera General Hospital. He was 50 years old. Frank Oliver Howard, nicknamed Hondo, the Washington Monument, and the Capitol Punisher, was an American baseball player, coach, and manager in Major League Baseball who played most of his career for the LA Dodgers and Washington Senators, Texas Rangers franchises. One of the most physically intimidating players in the sport, he was 6'7" and weighed 275 to 295. He was a big man. He was 87 years old. David Berkles was a German-born British magician and mentalist of German Jewish descent. His secret technique of locating a particular card within a pack, the Berkles effect, has been described as the holy grail of magic, card magic. He's one of the first magicians to appear on UK television. He was 97 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He was born in 1926, so when he was a little boy, Harry Houdini was there. Karen Davis, an American animal rights advocate and president of the United Poultry Concerns, a nonprofit organization founded in 1990 to address the treatment of domestic fowl, including chickens, turkeys, and ducks in factory farming. Davis also maintained a sanctuary, and she was 79 years old. Peter Stephen Fisher, an American television writer and television producer whose work included Murder, She Wrote, which he co-wrote or co-created with Richard Levinson and William Link. He was also the executive producer of the series for the first 7 seasons. He wrote 8 of the 22 episodes for the first season. He co-wrote also nearly 36 episodes of the show during its run. Later on, he was 88 years old. Thomas Kenneth Mattingly II, an American aviator, aeronautical engineer, test pilot, rear admiral in the United States Navy, and astronaut who flew on Apollo 16, Space Shuttles 4, and STS-51C missions. He was 87 years old. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our 8 Bells. We raise a toast. Take it away, Mr. Davey. cheers and best wishes and our condolences to the family and fans. What's always next? We try to liven it up with a little bit of jocularity with Mini Mayhem and Joke of the Week, sponsored by Shiver Me Pictures. No,
Marco's Pizza.
Marco's Pizza. I need to change that on my script. My bad. Marco's Pizza, ladies and gentlemen. It's a new pizza place we found here in town. They've been very supportive of the St. Augustine Swashbucklers already with our Spooktacular, and their pizza. Oh, it's excellent. I love it. I had a card here for their pizza. Their pizza is wonderful. And last week I even stopped in and got a couple of their sandwiches. A sandwich and a, again, I forget the name of it. Calzone. There we go. A calzone and a sandwich. The sandwich was wonderful. Just the right temperature on an Italian sandwich with the right fluids. Oh, it was wonderful. So go there. They are on State Road 16. No, they are on State Road 207. They're thinking about building or taking on one on State Road 16 in the new year. We have already made a promise to help them for a grand opening Pirate Pizza Day. How about that, right? So if you like their pizza, let us know because we want to promote them big time. And now, Joke of the Week.
Ahoy, mates! Me, Mayhem here with a Joke of the Week, sponsored by Marco's Pizza. Why are pirates never cremated when they die? Think about it, and I will give you the answer at the end of the show.
Hi. So I saw a comment that one of the lamps might be bothering people. I've turned it off. We'll see what happens. Quote of the week by Spyglass Travel. You want a good walking tour of St. Augustine? Spyglass Travel is it. One of the 10 top walking tours of all the United States. Our good friends there provide a great walking tour of downtown St. Augustine, the oldest city in the nation. And we get our quote of the week from their sponsorship. What is it, Davey? You will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks. Winston Churchill. Well, that's a really good one. I like that. I might have to add it to a post I put out on Facebook earlier today. All right. Very good, Davey. I like that one. And of course, the question of the week, sponsored by Miss Gina and the Ancient City Sirens. I hope she's watching tonight so I can make fun of her. But yes, we're going to talk about one of her events coming up. But Miss Gina will be also joining us at Edgewater, which we will talk about also. I'm going to have to put these on. When is the proper time to decorate for Christmas? In my childhood, decoration of Christmas began on Thanksgiving weekend, not sooner. And I just am amazed at all the stores. We have just barely gotten into November, and there were Christmas decorations in the stores in October. Can't wait to get the Halloween stuff down to put up the Christmas stuff. What's next? Valentine's Day? My goodness. But I'm curious to see what else people think about decorating of Christmas. My mother, who has passed on now, used to tell us stories that they didn't decorate much for Christmas because Santa Claus even brought the tree. Think about that for a chore for the evening. All right. So hopefully we'll have some good comments there. Now, on that note, adventures completed. We have a few. Spooktacular is one of them. And we talked a little bit about it, but we did not let you know some of the positive of Spooktacular. So I just wanted to let people know that are watching. Spooktacular made enough money that we are giving charity money to Alia's Acres. We've already given some money to the Sheriff's Department for their new project they're working on. We're going to give some money to Florida Water Tours. We're going to give some money to the Florida Cadet Program. And it's just wonderful that we're able to do that. And we're giving those in increments of $500 to $1,000 each. So we're in good shape. Very much for the applause. We did well. I will just say this, because the exact figures is nobody's real business but my own crew. and the people were helping. But the Spooktacular raised over $4,000 in 9 hours, 3 hours a night. So we did well. We're very happy. We're already looking forward to Spooktacular 2024, and we're now working on Old City Pirate Fest 2024. Mandy, you got your ticket yet?
Is my thing still turned on? It is, Kay. I wasn't sure my mic was still on. Yes. No, I don't have tickets, but we have been lining up. I usually will buy my airline tickets in early January for February, about 30 days out to get the best deal on them.
Very good. Very good. We look forward to having you, and Bo's coming.
It'll be me, Bo, Anara, and Oliver.
All right. Oliver is a good blacksmith. He wants to blacksmith.
Yes,
And
he's very excited.
Anara wants to be a mermaid again.
Oh, absolutely.
Very good. We're going to have quite a few mermaids this year, I think. It'll be a lot of fun. All right. So let's see. What's next? What's that?
The past wedding.
Yes. So our quartermaster, Leon, got married to a wonderful woman. If she's watching, hopefully she hears that. Miss Jean. And they had a wonderful wedding. We had some festivities on Friday night, lasting all day during the day on Saturday, and then the wedding on Saturday evening. Davey, do you have a video or do you have pictures? Oh, there she is. Look at that. She was just radiant. It was a wonderful evening. What a great gown she was wearing. And the gentleman standing in the white shirt is one of Leon's sons. Go ahead. What else do we have? There are all the maids of honor. I'm sure that's probably the wrong term to use, but there they are. They are all part of the female side of the wedding party. And you can see Miss Kara is in there. There she is right there. Very good. There they are, making each other giggle. It was a great wedding. It was a wonderful night. Give me another one. There are some of us. Oh, by the way, that is me in the far left there. No, I was not crying. We were the groomsmen, all of us wearing our kilts. And Leon did a very special job of making sure everybody had their own special sporan for their kilt. It was wonderful. I should show mine off, but I won't tonight. I'll try to remember to show it off another time. It was a wonderful evening. There they are for their first dance. We had a great DJ, and many of the crew, most of the crew was there for the event. Do you have anything else, Davey? Look at that. It was an open bar.
Which is unheard of.
Yeah, because no good party started with a salad. I like that. It was an open bar, and I will say that I had my fill of bamboo. It was wonderful. And I had to be very careful because I had to get up the next morning at about 5:30 in the morning to go to an event in Jacksonville that lasted all darn day. But bridesmaids, I've been told those were the bridesmaids. I thought that's what I said, but okay. Anything else, Davey, on that?
No, that's it.
All right, very good. It was a wonderful night, but the bride and groom are very happy, and they are off on a wonderful, wonderful time for their lives now. And I'm very proud and very happy to have both of them as part of my crew. They're very, very good crew members. So, as I said, Leon is the quartermaster. So, I'm very happy to have them. What else do we have, Davey?
Events coming up.
Then let's talk about events coming up. Let's talk about Edgewater first. There it is. Pirates on the Edge. This will be the third year that the St. Augustine Swashbucklers and the Seawolf Privateers will be at Pirates on the Edge from 10 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon, providing games, a ship, some museum pieces. The podcast will be down there. The Powder Monkey will be making an appearance, and Miss Gina and her girls will be making an appearance also, all the way up till 5 o'clock. Then it shuts down at around 4 to 5, and then the Pirate Ball starts. Oh, it shuts down at 4, and the Pirate Ball starts at 5. And all of us will be there at the Pirate Ball. They have music. they have magic, they have pirates, they have vendors. This is their third year, and it's looking to be a very good year, and the weather is now looking to be in our favor. So if you want to have a good time, come down to Edgewater, Florida, just down the road from St. Augustine, and join us for Pirates on the Edge. The Seawolf Privateers, Gina and the Sirens, St. Augustine Swashbucklers, Captain's Quarters Podcast, all of us helping support Pirates on the Edge, the Rotary Club of Edgewater, Florida. All right. And of course, then on Monday night, a week from tonight, we'll be doing our second annual live holiday podcast from Dick's Wings with the cast of the Captain's Quarters Podcast, the crew of the St. Augustine Swashbucklers. There will be drink specials. I already know it's going to be a good combination of rums. There will be 99-cent wing special. There will be door prizes, and there will be some extra surprises. It's also the time that we collect a little extra money to go into the charity account to help people at Christmas time. And we're hoping that the people we've already set to give checks to for the holiday will be able to join us there also. If you show up when the show starts at 8 o'clock, we'd like to have you be on board the show. Come on the show and say just a few words. Davey will have the computer system and the camera so that we can do some extra spots on the show. So we hope that you will indeed come and join us from 6:30 to 9:30 next Monday night. And the 6:30 to 7:30 is to give everybody a chance to have some food and some drinks and enjoy. Captain Cannonball is here. She's there. Very good, Captain Cannonball. I better see her at Dick's Wings next week because I tried to get her on the show tonight, and she said, I'll do it next week. I got it in print, so you better be there next week. Aye. What else do we have on the horizon? Oh, we do have one other thing I want to talk about. Florida Water Tours. We're going to talk about them in a few minutes anyway. But Florida Water Tours is providing a wonderful chance for the St. Augustine Swashbucklers to go out on the water at 9:45 on the 28th of November and see the Night of Lights from the water. It'll be another one of those great events where the crew gets to go out and just relax and have a good time and have a rum or two. So we might have a few spaces left for a few select invitees. Keep that in mind if you'd like to join the St. Augustine Swashbucklers out on the water. On that note, yes, our Seawolf Privateers, our good brothers and sisters of the Seawolves, are doing a pancake breakfast with Santa on December 2nd. And it's from 8 in the morning till 10. It's at Captain Barbecues down in Palm Coast, Florida. Bring the little ones for a jolly good time. Santa will be there to spread Christmas cheer, take photos, and listen to all the wishes. We hope that you'll go down and support. Ticket price is $10 for adults and $5 for children. That sounds like a pretty good deal. The Seawolves do a lot of raising of the money to help foster children in the area. So go down and support them. It will be a wonderful, wonderful morning to visit with Santa Claus for sure. On that note, do you have any video highlights of the week, Mr. Davey? Did you make one?
No, not this week. Next week we'll have stuff about Thanksgiving.
Very good. We'll do some Thanksgiving.
But I think we should talk about all the exciting things coming up with Nights of Lights. There's many things to do.
I think we should. I think that would be wonderful. Since we have no real guests tonight, let's do this. Let's talk about Night of Lights and all the fantastic things. If you want to have a great place to go enjoy Christmas spirit, the oldest city in the nation is St. Augustine, Florida, considered by National Geographic to be one of the 10 top cities to visit to see Christmas lights. The entire outline of the city of St. Augustine is bathed in millions and millions of white lights. It is a wonderful setup. So if you want to find out, we're putting up some links tonight. What do you got so far, Davey? Let's start. So you want to take a ride with Santa Claus on a golf cart for 8 people? There are November, those green dates are open. There are also some December dates. And of course, Santa Claus has to leave and get back to the North Pole by the 24th so he can fly around the world. But if you'd like to take a ride with Santa through the Night of Lights, go there. See that. That is with tastingtours.com. You go to tastingtours.com and go to the Night of Lights rides. They have a whole selection of different rides, not just Santa Claus, but they have other rides also. You can ride with the Grinch. In fact, there's a picture down in the bottom of Santa squaring off with the Grinch. You can ride with the Grinch. Or you can ride with Ebenezer Scrooge. They have that ride also. And I believe they also have a sing-along with the Mrs. Claus. So you can do that. Now, once the 24th has happened and Santa goes home, why, guess who's going to take over that golf cart? Do you have that one there, Mr. Davey?
Oh, I do.
You want to come out and take a ride with Santa, with Captain Mayhem on the 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st of December. They've at least set up right now 3 rides a night where you can come out and take a ride with Captain Mayhem. We'll tell some good pirate jokes, throw some R's out there, and enjoy the city lights. Come on out and enjoy that too. I hope many of my pirate friends who might come into town might come out for one of those nights and take a ride with me there and enjoy the city Night of Lights. It is a fantastic event, and it's really a lot of fun. The only thing that makes it not so much fun, the traffic becomes really something else. I can tell you that. But for now, come on out. Go to that website. Put that website up there one more time, Mr. Davey. Go to that website, tastingtours.com, nights-of-lights, and you can see all the different tours that the tasting tour people do. All of them are well worth it. It is a big time of the season for everybody, but we're not the only ones. There are other ways to enjoy the lights. What else do we have to show off, Davey?
Important one.
Aye, our good friends at Florida Water Tours. Go to them. If you want to see the city from the water, it is a wonderful opportunity. 75-minute tours out on the water, 6:45, 8:15, 9:45. 7 p.m., 8:30. So it is family friendly, and there are some adults only available, but it is a wonderful way to see the city. And that right there is a great picture to look at the city and see the city from the water, all those lights. It's wonderful. That's something else to do. How about a celebration of art and history at the Faggio House? The Night of Lights Exhibition Historic Tour, the 18th through the 5th of January. View artwork by area artists who have decorated 14 fireplaces in the 1798 house. It is a wonderful opportunity to see some old world artists and enjoy Christmas. So try that if you like. There's the website for that. We'll put these websites on our Facebook page. Right, Davey?
Yes.
All right, very good. So if that's not up your alley, what else do we have? The St. Augustine Lighthouse and Maritime Museum. Lighthouse illuminations, tides, tidings, and trees. Visit the museum during this winter season of tides, tidings, and trees. Spend an hour and a half discovering 20 uniquely decorated trees, each with a distinct theme. You can even tour the lighthouse, ladies and gentlemen. And if they let you go all the way to the top, well, you can then look around the entire city of St. Augustine and see the lights everywhere. St. Augustine is a beautiful place this time of year. I really, truly enjoyed it when my mom and dad could come over and visit a couple of times before they passed on. It is a great thing. Do we have anything else to advertise? Look at that. We can't do anything without a night of pints. November 17th, 12 p.m. until December 31st at 12 a.m. starting on the 17th November. So Dog Rose Brewery is sponsoring that. Night of Pints 2023. Go out and check out what all that's about and enjoy pints of wonderful, wonderful beer. Oh, And I'm sure that you can find many places here in town to enjoy that. Dog Rose Brewery, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy that. That's a good one too. What else, David? Anything else? Look at that. The Villa Zareta Museum, featuring the grand lighting of the Christmas tree. Villa Zareta, candlelight tours. It is a wonderful, wonderful tour, even without the Christmas lights. But with the Christmas lights, it's just gorgeous and beautiful. Got to go see the Villa Zareta. There's your website for that and ticket pricing there. We will probably post all of this on our Facebook page, and we might even next week or the week after, as it gets closer, the week after, we'll go ahead and do another one of these. Wait, I missed it. When does the Night of Lights start? The Nights of Lights start on the Saturday before Thanksgiving, which I believe is the 18th. Yes, November 18th. I see Donna has caught me up on that. They will stay lit until the 31st of January. So you have 2.5 months to come see the Night of Lights. It is a wonderful display, and it is just, it's breathtaking. It really is, especially if you can watch it from the water. Anything else we have, Davey?
No.
All right. You can also take a trolley ride, the green trolleys or the red trolleys. We'll have that information up for you by next week. Green trolleys departs from the Visitors Information Center. I had to think about it for a minute. And they do special evening tours of the Night of Lights. They give out special glasses that make the lights look even more spectacular, sing songs, and have a good time. And in my opinion, you should do it. And the reason you should do it is because I want everybody to go out there and sing your little hearts out. I love it. Listening to all of that. And if you happen to see the jolly old fat guy riding around on a big red golf cart with 8 or 9 people, wave at him and say hello. He might even wave back. Hi. And the red trolleys of Ripley's. They also do a Night of Lights trolley rides in the evenings too. Both trolley rides do not do any nighttime rides the rest of the year, only during the Christmas time. So there are so many things to do. One piece of advice, there is a lot of construction going on downtown. It is making traffic even more perilous, and parking is a huge premium. So please make sure that if you come into town, you allow yourself plenty of extra time to figure out your parking needs. Maybe we'll post something about parking in the next week or two. The parking garage is always the best, but there are some of the churches offer their parking lots up, so for donations to their church. So do your due diligence when it comes to parking. Look it up and figure it out. I think us pirates should ride with Santa. I'd love to have a whole group of the pirates come and ride with Santa. That would be a lot of fun. Oh, wait, I just gave away something. Damn. Oh, well. We'll leave it at that. That's very different. In the words of Rosanna Dana. Hi. Davey.
We have a special guest popping in.
Good. Is he ready to pop in?
Yes, he is. Can I bring him on?
Let's bring him on board. Hey, Mr. Andrew.
Hello, Captain. Thanks for having me on tonight. It's good to see you again.
Hey, you know, we wanted to try something new, and we made the offer to a couple of people. We are trying to figure out how we can actually just at the spur of the moment bring somebody into the show for a few minutes.
It worked perfect.
And I know that you have a whole lot of Christmas stuff going on.
Yes. So I'm going to tell everybody about that.
Yeah, I do. And this is going to be one of your biggest Christmases ever, right?
Yes, absolutely. So for everybody that hasn't seen me on here, I think this is my third time on, maybe third time. My name is Andrew. Tonight I'm Andrew the Absurd, dressed in my sideshow attire, hail from Jacksonville, Florida. And I am a jack of all trades. I do a little bit of everything. The first weekend in December, I'll be at a private event at the Nocatee community. They have me come out every first Friday and Saturday of December to entertain all their fine folks out there. I'll be doing some magic for them. Usually magics at the very end of the night. Throughout the rest of the night, I'm doing some juggling for them, do a little stilt walking. They have lots of costume characters out there. And I've even met Elsa a couple times. I was ready to leave, but she wasn't ready to let it go. The following weekend, I'll be all the way up.
Before you go too far, let me ask you a couple of things. Let's slow it down a minute.
Yeah.
So while you're out there are you doing a set show? Or are you doing street magic? What are you doing for that event?
So for the show, it's a set show at the end of the evening. It's about 30 minutes or so, and it's all traditional magic tricks with like a little Christmas flair to it. They don't use the word Christmas specifically out there because of all the different denominations and backgrounds. So it's just their Nakati Glow, because they have a light display they do. So they call it Naka Glow. So I just do a very classic magic show with a little like Christmas feel or holiday feel to it. Very fun.
What are the tricks you do? Name at least two.
Nameless too. I have an amazing cut and restored rope routine that is called the ring and rope routine.
Yep.
Fun to do. It's a silent routine where I get to press play and just do about 4 minutes of magic. And then one of my favorite routines, because the kids love to be involved in all my magic shows, I like to open my show with a classic trick that you may be familiar with. It's called Hippity Hop Rabbits.
Yeah.
It's these world famous rabbits that are the fastest performers in the magic industry, and the kids love being involved and telling me how the show and how the trick works, and it's got a great ending that the parents enjoy as much as I do.
Very good. So that's an open to the public event or a private event?
That's a private event just to the residents of Nakati. You have to have a resident pass to get in there for that.
So what's next on the agenda?
Next is the following weekend. That's December 8th and 9th. I'll be all the way up at Amelia Island, the Fernandina Beach area, for their world famous Dickens on Center. So they do on Center Street. They do a Charles Dickens theme event where all the vendors, they have character actors, everything is set in essentially the Charles Dickens era.
I know a few of the singers that go up there and sing Christmas carols along the way.
Yeah, they have carolers, they have jugglers, they have stilt walkers. Everybody's dressed in period attire. There's a gentleman that does like an hour and a half one-man solo stage play. He does all the voices, all the actors, all the parts by himself. I myself do mostly juggling on the street. I teach juggling, perform juggling at that event. And then on these Friday nights, I do a 1 hour solo stage show, including magic and juggling, and they like me to do some fire performing as well, so I can eat fire, breathe fire to kind of close the show out for the evening. So that one's a lot of fun. Open to the public. December 8th and 9th is when I'm out there, but the event runs, I believe, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that weekend.
And there's no charge for people to come see that, is there?
No. There are vendors there if you want to buy some art, want to buy some food, want to support those local businesses up there. They'll have their doors open. There's me doing a little escape.
That's my favorite one.
That's your favorite one? I do not have an escape plan for that one, but I may add that one just because it's fun. But yes, that event's free. There's the Jacksonville Symphony was out there last year. They had little quartets doing some live string music. That was really fun. Local dance groups are out there. There's usually a flash mob or so. So the Dickens on Center public event, come out, come have fun. It's a great weekend.
Add some chains to your escape for the Dickens one, and you can tell everybody you're escaping from Marley's ghost.
That's correct. There is I do have the escape with the straitjacket wrapped in chains, and I might do that one up there because it fits the theme. It works.
It fits the theme. So that's a good one. And I've only been up there once. One of these days, and I won't be able to come up and see you because you know what I'm doing for the whole season.
You're busy.
I'm going to have to start taking I've already decided because I'm booked for 97 of those gigs. I'm sure there's no children watching, but I'm still always trying to be careful about it.
Absolutely.
But I'm getting old, and I'd like to, one, rest, and two, I missed your last show. I wanted to come into your last show. And
Friday the 13th?
Yeah. And for anybody watching, at this point right now, the only magician I hire to come in and work for me or work with me is this man right here. This is the only one in the entire area that I really have enjoyed his work, his professionalism, and his talent. He really is a very talented magician. And you don't blush too much. I see you blushing a little bit.
Thank you so much for the kind words. Appreciate it.
No, it's wonderful. And his wife helps him on some of the things. And he does. And I'm gonna say this because, and I say it more out of love, but I like it because it just gives him a jab. He does a lot of good geek magic.
That's right. We do the geek magic. We embrace it. We do. She's actually my wife. She's pain-proof Penny. She walks on broken glass. She puts nails in her nose. She sits on the electric chair, and she is one tough mama. And she's been a little more geeky than me recently. So I'm the one that comes up with the ideas, the creator of chaos, if you will. And she's the one that she performs more of a teller, if you're familiar with Penn and Teller. And the audience, you are a captain. But I do the talking and loud, obnoxious stuff, and she's quiet and does the really cool stuff that makes you go, wow.
And the worst pain she puts up with is you.
Absolutely. That's a trick in itself.
That is very good. So after the Dickens event at Amelia Island, what's next?
I have a long stretch with our good friends. This contract's not signed yet, so I'm jumping the gun. With the Jacksonville Zoo, they're doing their zoo lights again, and I will be stilt walking as Santa's tallest elf. I've done Santa's tallest elf all around town for probably about the past 5 or 6 years. But I haven't done the zoo in quite some time. So I'll be still walking as Santa's tallest elf, usually handing out some of those little mini candy canes for the kiddos. And this is for the Jacksonville Zoo Lights event. I believe it starts on December the 14th, runs through the 24th. I'll be out there most nights. I have a couple other events in the way. But you can see me as the really tall green guy, Santa's tallest elf, which... if there's a shortest elf, there has to be a tallest elf, because the kids like to remind me that elves are supposed to be short.
So you're taller than Will Ferrell.
Absolutely. That's my cousin. Buddy is my cousin, is what I tell the kiddos.
They're very good, very good. So now you've got a Palooza event coming up too, right?
Yes. Back onto the sideshow. I'm man of many hats here, figuratively and literally. It's going to be in downtown Jacksonville at Underbelly. It's a fun venue. I've been to several shows there, but our good friends called Hell's a Poppin', the world famous traveling circus sideshow, they're going to be in town. I've never seen them for like a Christmas theme show, but they were actually kind enough to have myself and Penny be the opener. So we're going to do about 30 minutes of mostly magic, a little bit of sideshow. We're going to leave the big sideshow stuff to them. But that's going to be on Thursday, December the 21st at Underbelly, downtown Jacksonville. We're going to do some of the more dangerous things that we don't do for the boys and girls at the Dickens and Nocatee. But that's a public show. Come on out. So you're going to see world famous sword swallowers, world famous half man, Short E Dangerously. He walks on his hands. All this is run by Bryce, the Governor Graves. He's the ringmaster and the head honcho. Him and Shorty are the head honchos of that group. And you'll see Willow Lauren, one of just a handful of female sword swallowers. And they rotate out some of their friends from around the country. They're going to have a world famous little person, Nick Sin, probably one of the most entertaining escape artists. He's got his own little straitjacket. So I'm going to see if I can challenge him to a straitjacket escape competition. He doesn't know it yet. I'm going to try to challenge him to that. And they have another gentleman named Andrew Stanton. He is famous for sword swallowing. He's probably even in Guinness for a couple of the other acts he does. He's been in Cirque du Soleil. He had a run. Actually, I think the show was called Run right before 2020 shut everything down. He's made a couple recent appearances on the Go Big Show and just got off of America's Got Talent, I believe. So you're going to see some world-class talent at that event. And
what's the ticket price for that show?
Probably around $20 or $25 if I had to guess. And that show's going to run probably a good hour and a half plus.
Well, when you get some promo material, get it down to me and I'll post it on my crew pages and my page. And absolutely. I already know that I'm working that night, but if I can figure a way to not work, I might. No major promise, but it also depends because
fingers are crossed.
With this Santa Claus thing, on some nights, and the closer we get to Christmas, they have it set for a 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, and 10:30. If all 6 of them book,
right,
I got to stick with it.
Absolutely.
But, we'll have to talk about some other. I just talked to one Oh, there you are. Look at that.
Look at that. I have to crouch down for Mr. Claus there.
Yeah. Davey's always right on it. Well, while I got you here, I've got a good friend out in Tucson who is a mentalist, and I just talked to him today, and he's just written a book, and so we're going to bring him on the show. I'm working at trying to bring. We've always talked about it. I'm working on trying to figure out how we can do an all magicians magic show in the Oak Tree sometime in 2024.
Well, you know me. I can fill in whatever role you need. You can do the danger, you can do the excitement, do the funny stuff, whatever you need.
Yeah, absolutely. You do a wonderful job, and I'm glad you're staying busy. You still have a real job.
For now. Hopefully my boss is probably not watching this, but so with the real job, that's security for my family. I have a wife and 2 boys, but I didn't know I wanted to do this when I was going through school and high school and college, but performing has really taken up a lot of my time, and I'm trying to balance work life, family life, and performance life. Those are 3 different lives, and there's not enough time. And I'm about to be 37 here in a couple days, and I think I got a lot of years left, hopefully, and I got to decide how to use my time wisely. So if my day job starts getting in the way of my weekend job, I may have to make my weekend job my full-time job, and that's a really scary thing to do. So I tip my hat to all those folks that can do that. It's a challenging thing.
It is a challenging thing. I'll give you 2 pieces of advice to think about. Those 2 boys will make good roadies.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to pay them.
Child labor.
Yeah, child labor. But the other one is this: when you want to take a break and come sit down and have a rum with me and talk about it, I'll share with you some ideas, because I've been doing it.
Yeah.
But you have to put your brain in the mode that once in a while there's going to be some really bad times, and you got to figure out what to do about it.
Well, that's the beauty and the struggle with myself is I don't want to be a one-trick pony, one-trick horse. If someone's going to give me money, my job is to close my hand and take that money. So I try to be versatile. If you want a juggler, great, I can juggle. If you want magic, I can do magic. If you want stilt walking, I can do that. But also secondarily to those things, my wife has started her own professional event planning company. And when I'm not doing my own gigs, I'm her assistant, and she does Sweetest Day events, where we've done about 8 weddings this year, most recently this past Saturday, and we have about 10 weddings on the book next year. So her business is starting to really take off, and I'm going to be her helper in between my gigs, in between her events and my events. I think we have a great shot at being happy, being comfortable, and spending our time wisely.
So I kind of missed that real quick. What exactly is she doing? She's wedding booking?
So her event company is called Sweetest Day Events. She's not going to limit herself to any one type of genre, but she said, hey, I'll do anything. I'll probably do weddings. I probably won't do a bunch of them. We've done probably about 8 weddings this year. So she's the wedding planner. When you call her up and say you want to get married, she say, how much help of my help do you need? Do you need me to come a day or 2 before the wedding and finalize things? Or do you need me to help plan this from ground zero? And I'm with you like a year in advance, 8 months in advance, whatever you need. So she offers full planning for events. And not only is she doing weddings, but the day after Thanksgiving, we're doing a charity event where there's a local charity here in Jacksonville that raises money for a very specific disease that's in the world. And she got approached by those folks to help run and plan this event. So we're doing not only my performing on weekends, but we have her event planning company that's starting to take off. She just became an official business as of October 1st, Sweetest Day Events.
Well, very, very good. Well, I don't know if you ever knew this, but I can legally marry people as a pirate.
That is hilarious, because I always forget that. Like, full pirate garb is fantastic in my head. Like, that's a great picture, great like wedding moment.
You never know. Somebody may call you up and say, "Hey, I want to be married as a pirate," and everybody gets to dress as pirates and everything else. If that ever pops up, will you have somebody to talk to and we can work on it?
I know a guy.
You know a guy.
That should work out really well.
Guy. What's that, Mandy?
That should work out really well. A bunch of my pirates got ordained and go do weddings and stuff for people out here.
I'm ordained.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And I can, I think I'm ordained by the Universal Church of the Lord, I think is what it's called. Hallelujah.
You got. I think it also helps having your notary license as well, your notary stamp or whatever. That's a big one that Some of the ordained people, like the wedding we just did, the ordained gentleman who ran the ceremony was from not of our country, and legally on paper, the state of Florida would not recognize him marrying them. So the couple had to get married like 2 days at the courthouse, 2 days before the wedding, and then he just did the ceremony as kind of like an official
Right.
ceremony guy.
And that's how I've done most of them right now. They go to the courthouse, sign the papers, and then they just come and we provide the fun part. So yeah, it's an option that you now know somebody.
So Ripley's, believe it or not, you ready for this? With event planning, sometimes they need a DJ. So I like electronics. I like music. Guess who also is learning how to be a DJ and has already DJ'd like 2 events. So with our event company, my wife will run the event and plan the event. And if you need somebody, I can be the DJ as well to try to make it as like one-stop service planning for the whole event.
Good.
And the greatest part about that is
you're moving in a smart direction then.
Well, we weren't booked for the DJ for this past weekend, but the DJ that was hired for this past Saturday didn't contact us or confirm the week of. The day before, he didn't confirm. Hours before the event, he's not answering his phone. I almost had to leave in the middle of the event to go get my gear to rush back in time to potentially have to bail out this wedding. So they had music for the ceremony and for the after party.
Wow. Did he show up?
He did. He was just like, "Hey guys, I'm here." We're like, "Was your phone here?" So he showed up, thank goodness. It was one of those touch and go moments, but our job as an event planning company is to solve the problem and don't tell the bride about it until afterwards, and just to make sure everyone has a great time.
Very good. Well, I'd be very happy to always work with you.
Absolutely.
You never know. In this business, here's a perfect example. We're running this podcast and we were doing pretty good, but we're doing better because we brought Mandy into it. And Mandy's all the way from Utah, and she has a certain knowledge that I don't. Look, I have no knowledge at all on technical stuff. I'm old. There's no knowledge here. I think I know what's going to work. And I tell Davey or I tell Mandy, and then they probably converse and go, "Well, he's an idiot, but we'll fix it and make it work." And they do a good job. So doing these kind of events, being a performer the way you're going to be a performer, being an entertainer, and that's more the word. You're an entertainer.
The plan.
You have to wear many hats. And while you're wearing all those hats, you have to also know who do you have in your circle that can be a part of that also. Like,
I got a hat.
There's the pirate one there.
So this hat is compliments to you. Having performers in your circle is on December the 16th. I've been re-invited to come out for Gina Marie's winter gala to come do some performing for those folks. I had a blast last year, and she reached out to me a couple of weeks ago, and that's thanks to you. I think last year you were unavailable, and you usually do that event, but I got the hat passed to me. And they had so much fun last year that they invited me back to come this year on December 6th.
And that's the most important part. A repeat business. When a client books you and then they book you the next year. I mean, like Edgewater. This will be our 3rd year doing Edgewater. The seafood festival that you've actually helped us with.
Yep.
This will be our 10th or 11th year doing the seafood festival. Celtic Festival. I've done the Celtic Festival every year since they started the Celtic Festival. It's the same with me doing the Jolly Old Guy for the St. Augustine Beach tree lighting. I've done it every year for 8 years.
Right. Repeat
business from clients means that you're doing the job right.
Yes, and I'm very thankful for that, because that gives me some sense of security to try to do more things without having to rely on the Monday through Friday corporate job I want to be available to spend more time with the kiddos, but right now I see them a little in the morning before school, a little after school, and much wouldn't change if I became a full-time performer because they still have to go to school. But in the summertime, I could spend so much more time with them and do trips during Monday through Friday that I couldn't do. And maybe if they're interested in performing, I'm not going to push them by any means, but maybe they'll want to learn some of the things and I can teach them that. And I feel like performing for me is a direction I didn't know I wanted to go in. I have an extensive medical background. I'm I was trained as a firefighter and paramedic, and I did a little bit of that work in my younger days. And now I work in a dental office, and I'm very grateful for all the medical knowledge, but I feel being pulled away from that field, and just to have fun performing and being able to experience it with friends. I love performing with other performers. I like sending work to performers that I trust. There's a very few people that I would put my name on. I'm very selective on people that I would trust, and there's probably, can count them on one hand here in town that I would trust. Of course, if I had something reach out to me in St. Augustine, you'd be the first person I reach out to. But it's nice not only performing, but being able to rely on the performing community as well, as a good group of folks that I can bounce ideas off of or give work to. And it's pretty humbling to be in a position where people are starting to come to me for advice, for business advice, for performing advice. So it's pretty cool to see where I was and where I'm moving to, and no clue what the future holds in this case.
The no clue what the future holds, that can be exciting.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, we'll go back to using Mandy. Now, Mandy is a real estate agent and has a conglomeration of real estate people that works for her. But she has 2 ships. And Mandy, how many people do you have now working for you as costume characters? 30?
It depends on which team you look at. So for Utah Pirate, I'm probably up to about 35, 40 right now. Under Reach, which is the charity branch of it, I'm at 120.
Wow.
And then the real estate agents, there's 16 inside that office that I manage.
See, the real estate agency is where she gets her money. That gives her a chance to just goof off the rest of the time.
Well, Bo made me do real estate because he wanted to quit his job. And I was making enough money just doing my stuff, running around and being weird. And he decided it wasn't fair that on Facebook you would see me drunk with rum with Jack Sparrow while he was stuck at work. And he kept telling his boss, this isn't fair. Like, this is my wife. Like, this is what she's out doing. And then his boss actually found us at the pirate fair one weekend. And me and my buddy Jake had gotten my husband pretty drunk on rum. And his boss showed up and was like, you weren't really kidding. Your wife really does get drunk with pirates. It's like, yeah. And I do this all week long.
What better thing to do than get drunk with pirates, right?
Exactly. He loves it. And then when he decided he wanted to leave his job, he put me into real estate so we could run property management and stuff, because it's also self-employment. So it's open variable schedule. So I can manage everything and kind of balance everywhere. Some days get a little crazier than others, but in most cases, I can manage every single schedule and my daughter's chaos schedule. So right now, as we speak, my daughter's at dance class. She has 3 hours of dance class on Monday. She has 2 hours on Tuesday. She has 2 hours on Wednesday and then 4 hours on Thursday, I believe. And then there's a duo, trio, and a solo that bounce around throughout all that as well, because she's a competition dancer. And I've never missed a competition. I've been at every single thing. I will miss a conference that she's going to, but it's just a dance practice thing, a training thing, because I'll be fundraising at an event called WasatchCon at the same time as it. So me and Bo trade off.
And I've done things backwards. In Mandy's case, Mandy has a good substantial job. You have a good substantial job. I stopped working for the military at a certain point in time and just dove right into being this. And there were some very bad years, and I don't have anything in my twilight years, and I guess twilight's probably the wrong word to use for somebody my age now. So I'm working on ideas now that I can start doing, like a William Mayhem magic set, all pirate themed, a book, this podcast. These are all things that I'm hoping to, because I'm reaching a point. And so I'll share this with you, Andrew, because you'll understand the sadness of this, depression or disappointment. But I've had a lot of problems from everything, from my neck down to my hand, because of some bad discs and a bad shoulder. I tried to do a coin trick for a kid the other day and almost blew it because I couldn't palm the coin. My hand is not working now. So I'm reaching that age where I've got to start finding other things. So that one first piece of advice is gather up all these clients, make sure that they're always going to be there for you every year, and then start finding other ways to supplement it.
Yeah, that's been my plan. Consistent work is great. I've had one long-term client that they would email me one email in January because it's kind of a pain back and forth every 2 months before the events. Like, hey, we need you in 2 months. Hey, we need you in 2 months. They would just email me one email, and I would get 13 events. And I was like, wow, this is a really cool thing. And so I was really banking on that. But then you can't count your eggs before they hatch type of thing. Where a different January popped around and they're like, hey, we're restructuring some things. That's always never a good line to hear in the email. They said, we need you for these 4 events. So I went from a consistent client of 13 events per year, usually grouped in like 2 or 3 days at a time, where it went down to just 4 days. So that taught me real quick to not hold out for that long-term guaranteed clients. Sometimes you have to take the guarantee booking like, hey, we're booking you. We know December fills up now and it's September. We want to talk to you for next December to try to get you on the books. And I've never done this, but I'm starting to say yes to those things because I need to take the guarantee. My long
you have to.
just went down. So
I'm in a unique position as doing the Santa Claus gigs and I put the word out. If you watch my Facebook page, I put the word out in July and August. If you want Santa Claus, this is the time to book him. And I have a whole lot of friends that do Santa Claus, and they all agree. I just got a phone call last week. Today's Monday, last Thursday, I think it was. They want a Santa Claus. I'm not available.
Right.
And, and most of the other Santa Clauses I know may not be available either. So they've waited till the first week in November to get a Santa Claus, and all the good ones are always booked. So, it's the same with magic.
Absolutely.
If somebody is offering you a gig and it's guaranteed, and you have another client that you think, well, maybe they're going to call me, that maybe doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah, I'm starting to take these. I think it was like about September, maybe a little bit sooner. They're already looking for December 2024. I'm like, wow, that is awesome because they're trying to book their entertainment. They try to do the whole calendar 6 months in advance. So from July, they're already booking from their January to December. So then they just run the events. They don't need to try to find people for next month or in 2 months. These communities, I'm finding, like a lot of these gated communities, Julington Creek, E-Town, Nocatee, Rivertown, Watersong, a lot of these places have budgets to bring the entertainment in, and they're trying to lock these performers in a year plus in advance. So that's been kind of like my main market where I don't have to try to sell myself to a small gathering where the budget might not be there for me. But I go to a community where they're having 2,000 people. I think the Nocatee weekend, I just did their Halloween event. Over the 2 days, they passed about 8,000 people through their event site. So they have the budget. So that's kind of been
here's the most important question now. The first weekend in February, are you free?
I'm using my phone as the camera right now, so I cannot answer that question. I'm sure my wife will be yelling from the other room because she's watching on YouTube. But I think the first weekend we may actually be booked with a wedding, believe it or not.
If you are booked, so be it. But if you're not booked, that Saturday, I need a magician. It's our pirate festival.
Hold on, I hear the footsteps coming now. we have a wedding on that Saturday.
Well, then I won't be able to hire you.
But I do know another.
What about that Sunday?
Sunday I'm available.
All right, well, then we'll talk about Sunday because I still want you to be a part of the event.
That'd be great. That's a good weather time of year. February is my time.
Yeah, and as Davey says, we want you to do your escape.
Absolutely.
It'll work hand in hand on Sunday because Sunday is also Pirate Court Day. So maybe we'll put you we'll convict you of something and put you in chains and let you escape.
Absolutely. I've got plenty of so we got to make sure we clarify this for everyone watching. I consider escapes a whole separate category from magic because magic is funny stuff happening. Escapes can overlap into magic because there's secret or funny ways to get out of things. I like to have a real challenge where all the escapes that I do are actual escapes where there's a real possibility I may not get out of this. And I like that challenge. And there's been 2 instances where I almost didn't get out of something. One was my fault because I didn't have a helper supervising, where I don't care how they tie me up, but if they're going to tie it where it's around my neck or something dangerous to me, I'm stuck. I'm at that person's mercy. So if I don't have the helper, I could be in real danger, which is not the plan. And the second time was I do my straitjacket wrapped in chains where they can padlock it together and put me in as tight as they like. They crisscross something, which has never happened before, but I was able to get out of it because I rehearsed and practiced a whole bunch.
So I'm going to tell you one routine that crosses both, because you're right. Magic is something that's happening then and it's funny, and escapes are real. But there is one routine that the great Harry Anderson used to do that was both an escape and funny. And that was when he would be in the straitjacket and he would tie his wife in the chair with the 100-foot rope. It was a 100-foot rope escape.
Yeah.
And hold on. Lining. So the 100-foot rope escape was something made famous by Houdini. And during the whole thing, she's getting out of it. He's not. So he's running across the stage and kicking her over and knocking her down and keeping her from doing it. If you've never seen the routine, you got to go look it up. It is a great combination. And I bring it up for the idea that you and your wife should consider it.
Yes, actually we could. And yes, Nightingale in Florida, I do plan on attending the Old City Pirate Festival on that Sunday. I've seen other performers do a take on that. There was a duo down at Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, Universal, and they did a version of that where there was a straitjacket escape versus a chair 100-foot rope tie. And it came to the point of where the rope tie person was almost out. So the straitjacket escaper kicks the chair, like kicks him, knocks him over to try to help himself get out of there. And because that was kind of like cheating for the escape, the one who kicked the other performer over out of the chair, he's the one that gets put in the guillotine and off with his head at the very end.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool.
They actually, when they were rehearsing that routine, the performer kicking the chair missed and kicked the other performer in the ribs and broke his ribs about 2 weeks before the show was about to start. And this was like 160 shows over about 2 months they had to perform. So they made sure not to tell the venue and the contract that he had broken ribs. They just took it easy for the first couple of weeks.
Wow. Yeah, sometimes accidents happen. You got to pay attention and be prepared.
That's
Davey,
real.
Yeah.
I think we've reached a point where we should do This Week in Nautical History, sponsored by our good friends at Florida Water Tour. Andrew, we're going to ask you to go ahead and just stay on board with us if you want.
I'll be here.
You ready, Davey?
Welcome to This Week in Nautical History, sponsored by our friends of Florida Water Tours. Experience the Intercoastal Waterway at its finest, featuring picture-perfect attractions. We begin This Week in Nautical History in the year 1493. Explorer Christopher Columbus sights the island of Saba and the Leeward Islands, but does not land. 1620. After a month of delays off the English coast and about 2 months at sea, the Mayflower spots land, Cape Cod. 1688. Prince William of Orange's invasion fleet sails to England. 1872. Cargo ship Mary Celeste sails from Staten Island for Genoa, mysteriously found abandoned 4 weeks later. 1908. Dutch capture Venezuelan Navy. 1915. An Austrian-Hungarian submarine torpedoes and sinks the Italian liner Ancona without warning, killing over 200 people. In 1944, ammunition ship USS Mount Hood exploded at Seadler Harbor, Manus, Admiralty Islands. Also in 1944, RAF sinks German battleship Tirpitz at Tromsø Fjord, Norway. And that was This Week in Nautical History.
The one that you had for the Mary Celeste, that is one of the very first stories of the disappearance or the strangeness of the Bermuda Triangle, believe it or not. I did a lot of study on the Bermuda Triangle when I was younger because it was something I was very interested in. We don't have a mail call, but we do have This Week in History. And it'd be fun to go ahead and see what you've got on that one, Davey.
Okay.
Welcome to This Week in History, sponsored by our good friends at Dick's Wings Bar and Grill. Wings, salads, wraps, quesadillas, and more. No matter what your taste buds crave, they've got you covered. We begin This Week in History in the year 1731. In Philadelphia, Benjamin Franklin opens first library in North American colonies, the Library Company of Philadelphia. 1789, bourbon whiskey first distilled from corn by Elijah Craig in Bourbon, Kentucky. 1805, Lewis and Clark expedition first sights the Pacific Ocean at the mouth of the Columbia River. 1811, Battle of Tippecanoe, General William Henry Harrison defeats the Native Americans of the Tecumseh Confederation. 1813, during Creek War, General Andrew Jackson, responding to White Stick Creek Indian plea at Fort Leslie, drives off attacking force of Red Stick Creek Indians at Talladega, Alabama. 1833, train derails at Hightstown, New Jersey, killing 2 people. Also on board are Cornelius Vanderbilt and former President John Quincy Adams. 1850, first Hawaiian fire engine. 1860, Republican Abraham Lincoln of Illinois elected to the 16th President of the United States of America. 1861, Jefferson Davis elected to 6-year term as U.S. Confederate President. 1907, the Cullinan Diamond, the largest ever discovered, is presented to King Edward VII on his birthday. 1916, Jeannette Rankin, Republican representative of Montana, is elected to Congress as its first woman representative. 1921, U.S. President Warren G. Harding dedicates Tomb of Unknown Soldier at Arlington Cemetery. 1933, Fiorello LaGuardia is elected the 99th mayor of New York City. 1946, Walt Disney's Song of the South released. 1966, Buzz Aldrin takes the first space selfie, a photo of himself performing extravehicular activity in space during the Gemini program. 1976, Gone with the Wind. 1939, Oscar-winning film epic starring Vivien Leigh and Clark Gable makes broadcast television debut on NBC, aired in 2 parts over consecutive nights, earns a then record 65% share of TV viewers. And finally, in 1999, tenor Andrea Bocelli releases his Sacred Arias album, the world's best-selling classical album by a single artist. And that was This Week in History.
Always a wide variety of things there. Caught you drinking, but that's all right. That's what we do. All right. Good variety that you have there always, Davey.
Thank you.
So, Mandy, how are things out there in Utah? Just a little conversation with you.
Most days it's all right. Friday
Yeah.
was a little bit of a madhouse. If you saw the link I sent you.
Yeah. I know how it
Nobody's
is.
dead. Not
Huh?
one person is dead.
Well, that's good.
35 cars destroyed and a building, and not one person is dead.
That is a good thing. That is a good thing. We had a shooting in St. Johns County on Saturday night. So the ills of the world are encroaching on everybody's life, and as a piece of advice for everybody, keep your eyes and ears always open. Always look for an escape route, and if something happens, protect yourself first. Once you're protected, then worry about anybody else around you. If you're a parent, obviously you're going to take care of your children first, but always make sure that you keep your eyes and ears open. We have a great show going on here, ladies and gentlemen. It's always nice when we can bring somebody in and have a great conversation. Thank you, Andrew, the absurd, for jumping in on the show with us tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you around.
Absolutely.
How about guests on deck, Mr. Davey?
All right.
Now, we're at December 6th, which was supposed to be the tasting tours people who we're working with other events. But next week, the Dick's Wings Live podcast and holiday party for charity. The 20th is Diana Hammond. She's a movie prop designer. She's designed props that you all have probably seen. November 27th, not sure if I have anything there other than St. Nicholas himself. December 4th, Pearl Harbor special. December 11th, Sheriff Hardwick will be back on the show. December 18th is open. We'll do a pre-recorded show for December 25th. And New Year's Day, we'll probably do something. We'll see what happens. And we're going to talk about the history of resolutions. We're already starting to book 2024. So we hope that each and every one of you will pass the word and ask people to join our crew. Be a part of the show. We're looking forward to 2024. We're upping our abilities with the StreamYard to do what we want to do. And we even had an idea. Well, I had an idea, and I shared it with Davey, and he thought it was a good idea. So I'm going to share it with Mandy right now. Last week, after my show with Morgan Lanny, who was a tour guide, her and her significant other sat at my poker table in my pirate room, which Andrew has seen. And we just sat around and talked for about 2 hours. And it was just a raw conversation about stuff, life, opinions, and fun. Uncensored, not worried about anybody. We're thinking about in the future in 2024, moving the cameras to my poker table. And just when I have a good guest, after the show, we have a after show where we just sit and talk. We can actually allow up to 7 or 8 other people to be on the show with us and can talk and be included in the conversation and just have a conversation about whatever is happening in life for the day. Uncensored, raw. We'll charge for that. Won't be that much, but it'll be something that people can be included in, depending on who the guest is and what we can do. It could be a lot of fun. I had a good time. We talked for almost 2 hours, drinking and having a good time. Now, this is not an original idea. I'm actually stealing it because Bill Maher, a comedian that I really have a lot of respect for, is doing the same thing right now. He has his own little offshoot podcast where people come in and sit and drink and they smoke and they have a good time and they talk about the things that are going on in the world. It's uncensored. They can say whatever they want. We can too, because it will be a limited audience view. So think about it and put it in your cap for thinking. Who knows? Maybe, Andrew, we get you down here and a couple other magicians and we sit around and talk about magic. And maybe there's a few secrets that are let out. Maybe there's a few things that just come into the conversation about how things really work. Who knows? It could be a fun conversation. And with Penn and Teller doing all the things they've done, releasing secrets is not a bad thing anymore in the magic world.
All the secrets are hidden in plain sight. You just go to your local library to the magic section. There are books and books and books and books on magic, but nobody wants to read them. So their secrets are safe for us. Or
just go to TikTok or YouTube.
Yeah, I don't trust those. That could be fake. It's on the screen.
Good point. But we're going to start looking at that idea.
Captain, I have a special offer for you. During our This Week in History, I had an urgent message brought to me. Thank you for having me on the show, first of all. But I have compliments of Sweetest Day events. My wife said she has a wedding, an elopement. It's going to be very small, probably about 5 people or less. On December the 26th, this family is coming down from out of town. They're going to be married on the beach in St. Augustine, and they need a pirate to officiate the wedding. Do you know of anybody?
I know of somebody. Let's see what we can do. Let's talk about it. I'd love to do it because, believe it or not, I'm not booked to do anything on December 26th.
Funny how that works. It's good to have a tight community of performers you can rely on.
Very good. Well, let's talk about it. I'd love to do that. Very good. See there? Conversation opens up doors.
Absolutely.
I love it. Very good. Davey, normally at this point, we do a joke reveal for Mini Mayhem. So let's see what it is. I want to know why pirates aren't cremated.
Okay.
Okay, it's time for the answer to the joke of the week. Why are pirates never cremated when they die? The answer is they always bury their booty.
Did you find that one or make it up?
Mandy's laughing.
Mandy, stop laughing. It just encourages him.
Where
That
do you
was-
find that?
It's funny, isn't it?
And I thought Andrew told bad jokes on stage.
Pirate. Oh man, I have a pirate joke for you, Captain.
All right.
What is a pirate's favorite letter?
Now, like I've never heard that one before, but go ahead.
Come on, I need an answer.
All right. My answer is always pirates never had a favorite letter. They never learned their alphabet. They always got lost at sea.
You took my answer. Great job.
All right. The number one pirate joke that all pirates have to hear is what's a pirate's favorite letter? It could be either C or R. But I had to change it.
A pirate goes with R, which of course you can drop. It's the letter C on them very hard. So non-pirates always go for the R. Pirates already know it's coming, and they usually will switch it up on you.
And I always tell everybody pirates never learned their alphabet. They always got lost at sea.
Bingo.
Bingo.
Great.
Right. Davey,
Captain-
it's always a good idea to make sure that we thank everybody here. But before we do, you know what we didn't do?
Comments.
I didn't pay attention to comments. So let's see what we got. I've gone all the way to the back. I see Donna and Kara. I see a Facebook user that said ahoy. I have no idea who it is. If you're on Facebook watching us, we do appreciate it. We truly do. But if you're on Facebook watching us, it just says Facebook user, and there could be 5 of you out there. Oh, and while
One of them's Tinker.
Is it Tinker? All right. While I'm thinking about it, I want to say send out good vibes and best wishes to locally Jim Nordenfeld, who's always watching our show, but he's had some health issues and been in the hospital. And the other one is our good friend who was on the show a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about Talk Like a Pirate Day. He just had open heart surgery, our good friend there. And I am finding my cursor in my computer because I have 2 screens. And I see all these people trying to message me. I can't keep up with everybody. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure that we always say good wishes to all the people that may have health issues, but are still watching our show. And that would be John Bauer. So he just had some open heart surgery. He is scheduled to come to Old City Pirate Festival in February. And he is one of the 2 originators of Talk Like a Pirate Day. So we're hoping that everything goes well for him and he'll come along. On that note, watching from soccer practice fields, that's my son, Will, the historian. Very good. We didn't get to see his video last week. Maybe we can work on getting it downloaded to us later on down the road. I see that Kara is watching us. That's my own better half right there. Mandy, your cat is beautiful. We all have cats now. Yep. Let's see. Miss Gina is watching. Ahoy from Cedar Key. Sorry I'm late. Just got back from dinner. So I knew you were wrong, Nightingale in Florida, because I said you're going to have to be at Dick's Wings, and you said, no, you'll be in Cedar Key, and I wondered why you would be in Cedar Key next weekend. Now I know you'll be at Dick's Wings next Monday night. Let's see. Facebook user said hello to Gina. Scarlet Deerheart is here. Early Christmas decor. What does it hurt? God knows there's enough stress, anger, and unhappiness in the world. If someone gets an extra month of joy, why piss on their fun? All right, I can't argue that. So let's just go ahead and be rednecks and put our Christmas decorations up in January and leave them up all year. Plenty of joy that way. I like it. Very good. Nightingale in Florida, Scarlet Deerheart. I know that also our good watcher from Michigan, Mr. Harker, he was having some visitation with one of his family members who has some major health issues, so he may not have been on the show tonight also. So my son says, Nightingale, I'm standing on a field waiting for parents to pick up my players an hour after conditioning has ended. We got some good comments. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't do this show without all of you and our crew. And upon that note, Davey, let's do a thank you to everybody.
Okay.
The Captain's Quarters podcast is indeed a ship sailing the seas of the world, always in search of history, knowledge, and adventure. It takes a crew to run a ship, so we take this opportunity to thank those who help keep this ship afloat. Our sponsors: St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, Dick's Wings Bar and Grill, Ancient City Sirens, Spyglass Travel, Marco's Pizza, Florida Water Tours, Riker Reenactors, Paper and Strings, and Shiver Me Pictures. Supporting cast and crew: Captain William Mayhem, Navigator Davey Longwood, Gunner Hellfire Henley, Cartographer Mandy Joe, Juan Cam, and of course the Powder Monkey. Helping others gives a crew purpose. Inc. Investing in Kids. St. Johns County Fire Cadets. Says St. Augustine Youth Services. And the Humane Society. The 4 major charities report, but always room for more. You too can be part of the crew and support the show in many ways. Go to Patreon. Support us with a small monthly contribution as a Powder Monkey or First Mate memberships. Go to YouTube. Hit the like and follow buttons to join our ranks and support the show. Or a single contribution which helps with other expenses of the show. Thank you. It does take a crew.
Aye, very good. I just saw a comment put up by Will the historian, my son. Read books? Are you trying to get us to learn? That's what his students always say. And believe it or not, at the end of my tours with the school groups, I always try to get them interested in about 4 books. Treasure Island, Peter Pan. Wait a minute, it's coming to me. Robinson Crusoe, Swiss Family Robinson. All of those have pirate stories within them and a good way to get involved in the pirate idea. Davey, show our platforms. If you watch us on YouTube on Monday night at 8 o'clock, it automatically at the end of the show downloads to Spotify and Instagram. Or if you just want to listen to us, ladies and gentlemen, you're driving along. We have many people that come to the museum and say, hey, while we're driving back to wherever we came from, we'll listen to you. So you can just listen to us on Stitcher, iHeart, Castbox, Apple Podcast, or Amazon Music. Those are our platforms, and we'll have a few more when we upgrade. And it's always nice to have people just listen to us. And it is one of the reasons, ladies and gentlemen, if you recall, both of our history segments used to just be music background. Now they're narrated by Mr. Longwood. Why? Because if you were just listening to our show, when that popped up, all you would hear is the music. You wouldn't get any benefit from what was in those history videos. So now we narrate them. It's always a good thing to do. What are our numbers like, Davey? Aye, Radio Pirate Eleco Desmers. All good books. Yes, they are. All great books, and great books that kids should be able to read. Our numbers are 1,439. That's better than last week. We climbed again, didn't we, Davey?
Aye, Captain.
It's climbed again too. We're 1440.
Are we
Yay,
1440? All
Yeah.
right, 1440. We're only 60th from a hunt from 1,500. That's my goal by the end of the year. 1,500. We'll figure it out. Those are our numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Check out all the things that we have coming up. We have lots of shorts on our YouTube channel. Go and see all those shorts. Not my shorts, video shorts. Upon that note, I do want everybody to understand, if you want to be a part of our show or just allow us to talk about your event and help promote your event, please send us an email. Please let us know. We want more and more content here to help other pirates, other performers, like we did with Andrew tonight. Andrew's got a whole list of shows. Go see a show. Go see what I think is a wonderful performing magician. Upon that note, send us a Gmail. Let us know if we can be a part of it. But I think we've reached an end, Davey. What do you say?
Yep. part of the podcast.
Part of the crew.
Always. We can't do it without you. We love our fans, our family, and our friends. Thank you all very much. Till next week, live at Dick's Wings. Tune in and watch me eat some chicken wings. Bye.